Hey, what is up you guys? It is Reversal. Welcome back to another episode of Knights and Dragons. And last week you guys had the ability or the opportunity to ask a few questions here to the developers of Knights and Dragons. And in this episode I'm actually going to be answering a few of these questions as well. I'm going to show you guys what they responded, but also give you guys my own input in certain questions in here that I feel is relevant to kind of cover with you guys. So how about we just jump straight into this? This is going to be a little bit long, but you know, it's going to be worth the time because you guys are going to be getting some questions answered. So that's going to be all cool. The very first question starts off with, are there going to be any 6-star armors into Knights and Dragons? And basically the developers responded with the fact that they're going to be taking a look at this. Now, I feel that this is actually a pretty important situation to be addressing because, well, first things first, before we actually get into 6-star armors, I feel that the current situation with the armors is pretty bad. Like, let's be fair here. Every single time we're getting a new armor that is better than the previous one, which I kind of understand that they're doing that, but I mean, it's getting to the point right now where if you're getting a Moonside, you'll be pissed off because it's so bad. And I feel that that is a bad thing. Like, people were really happy with the Moonside at some point, like last year, and right now if you're getting the Moonside, you're extremely mad because you got yourself a Moonside. Now, let's be fair, I feel that there should be some sort of a, I don't even know how they're going to be doing this, but I feel that some of the old armor should be kind of boosted up in some way, shape or form, so that way, you know, they kind of like at least do something relevant here. Also, the fact of the matter is there are still like these armors available in the chest, which I don't really feel they should be, but they are still, so I don't even really know, but kind of feel that if armors are there and they're fusible, they should not be appearing in the chest anymore, with the exception of the plus version at least. So that is just my input into like 6 stars. I feel you should have some optimization first before you can be talking about 6 stars. Also, if you're going to be adding a 6-star, don't make it overpowered. Like, make sure that it's pretty close to a 5-star, a little bit stronger but not too strong. Next up, we got, is there going to be a world chat for Knights and Dragons? And the answer is, it was in the works originally and will be a thing that will help out the community quite a lot, but can go wrong in many ways, which I totally agree about, because I know for a fact if there's going to be a world chat right now, like, bam, you're going to be placing a chat down there, there's going to be 100 reversals in there asking for accounts for, you know, my YouTube to, like, basically scammers that are going to be impersonating people out there in order to get your accounts, and that is not a good thing at all. And I really am happy that there's not going to be a world chat right now, because, you know, the way it is, I don't know, I'm kind of afraid of it, honestly. If anything, there should be good filters out there, so that way you're able to identify who is who and stuff like that before you're actually going to be enrolling that. And then also you got like a situation with like swearing and language and just people trolling around and spamming and advertising and all that good stuff. I feel a lot of things can go wrong there as well. So if you're going to be doing anything like a world chat, I don't know, maybe like a friends chat, that would be great. But other than that, I have no idea. Preferably not. I mean, the way things are right now is actually already good. I just feel that the guild chat should actually be a little bit more optimized, but that's just me. Next up, we got, why are there fusion boost Blitz Wars in the middle of the week and other wars in the weekend? Is it going to go back to going to the weekend, or what is the situation with wars in general? What Gree was saying is that Gree lies the focus on releasing a lot of events in general, so that way players from all time zones and anywhere around the world are able to play the game, and that they will always have something to do when they're going on the game. So having a war or a raid ongoing, or even heroic mode or an epic boss collection event, so that way you guys are occupied with anything that, you know, happens in Knights and Dragons. I'm not entirely sure what the meaning by this, but I kind of feel it would be okay to have a blitz in the weekend as well, or a war or a raid during the week itself. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I know for a fact that some people are going to be like, but the weekend is the only free time that I have. But yeah, I don't know. In this situation, you know, you cannot make everybody happy, unfortunately. So yeah. Next up, there are many players from the Netherlands and Belgium. Will there be a Dutch language added to the game? And what Gree responded with is, there's going to be more languages, I'm saying languages, being added into Knights and Dragons on 2015. Next question is, will there be a storyline, or will the storyline of the Dark Prince be expanded upon? And the answer to the question is, we are definitely looking into expanding the Dark Prince story. Hang tight. Now that already tells me, like, if they're saying hang tight, then they're gonna definitely do something with this. Otherwise, they wouldn't say anything like that. Usually when they respond with stuff like this, you know, you can already tell right off the bat if they're gonna be doing something with this. Hang Tight tells me they're gonna be something done with that, and it's kind of necessary. I mean, we had the Dark Prince story for over a year now, actually since the time Knights and Dragons came out, and we kind of feel for something new. I mean, heroic mode is nice, but you know, additional levels and stuff like that, I think that would be pretty cool. Will there be a dual element armor for heroic mode into the future? Because I saw some spoilers and stuff like that. I think the next one's going to be air. I'm not sure. What Gree responded said this, and if they actually paid attention, they could have already answered the question themselves. But I'm just going to formulate this one anyway. Another great idea: if players continue to enjoy heroic mode, we can think about adding dual elements sometimes in the near future. Now, Gree, if you're watching this, I can already tell you guys straight up, heroic mode single-handedly is the event that has been most enjoyable in the last, let's say, half a year in Knights and Dragons. So I can pretty much already guarantee you that, you know, people are going to be extremely happy if there's going to be a dual element armor for heroic mode. I mean, it's going to make a lot of people motivated to play the game again. A lot of people motivated to, you know, try hard and actually play the game. And also tell their friends and stuff like that, that they should be playing Knights and Dragons. So this definitely a must-have to add dual elements for heroic mode. Because, you know, it's just the way it is. Next up, we got, what are you intending to do for the next year in 2015 for Knights and Dragons? And they said, we got big plans. I would hate to ruin the surprise. All I can say is 2015 is going to be really awesome. Now, 2015, I don't know if Gree is doing the things they are doing it right now, and I'm talking about the last 2 months, then, you know, if they continue that, if they are going to go that line, I can say, yeah, 2015 is going to be really awesome. I'm looking forward towards new content, new stuff being added to the game that's going to make the game even more exciting than it is already. So, hopefully, you know, this is going to be going alright. And of course, you know, if we're going to be getting new content, I'm going to be featuring, talking about it on my channel as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that one as well. Next up is there any plans for non-gem events, for example, wars and raids, etc, etc. I understand that you guys are getting paid by the gem events, but couldn't you do something like this, like every once or twice a year, just as a gesture to show appreciation for those for those people who don't gem but still support your game? And then they responded, which is very, you know, reasonable that they responded with this. Heroic mode does not require gems. We will consider this idea for other events. And I would just like to point out the rings and amulets and stuff like that is also no gems required in that as well. So they are definitely doing their stuff on your part, on their part, in order to kind of stimulate people who are not paying for the game either. So next question is, why is it that you don't put plus epics into the champions pack? And they respond with that, people are currently enjoying our champion packs. We would probably adjust them sometime in the future if that changes. I can pretty much assure you already that people are going to be buying more packs and enjoying the packs even more if you're putting plus version epics into there. Especially the epics that you have been placing in there are a little bit disappointing, really. Champion pack is the only event that I don't stand behind, because I kind of feel it's a ripoff. But that's just, you know, my idea behind the situation. I really feel that you should be getting the plus versions of the epic with the champions packs, because, you know, those epics are relatively outdated at this point. So that is just my 2 cents in this situation of champions pack. Also, I also kind of found champions pack always like a little bit strange anyway. But yeah, if you guys are happy with having those released, then, you know, by all means. Next up, we got, how do you choose which armors are prizes for 5,000 gem spending events? And then they responded in return with, we always read the forums or the wiki and see what you guys suggest for the 5k event, and then we put something else in. And then we put in something else. I don't really understand that answer, but I suppose they're going, you know, I have no idea if they actually do that, really. Like, if I speak from the heart here, like, I have no idea if they actually do that. Like, I kind of feel in a way that they're gonna go by some sort of a list and actually, like, place those in. But yeah. Next question is, will Gree ever post announcements of new armor that are right now fusible? And Gree responded with, we really like the way it is right now. it's currently a surprise, makes it more fun. I definitely agree with that one as well. They should definitely just keep it in. I mean, I like getting those messages from one of you guys telling me that armors are right now fusible. So that is just a thing on itself as well. And it also allows me to make a new episode to be all excited on and all of the good stuff, right? Moving on to the next one is, will there ever be new buildings? For those people out there who have maxed out training fields and monsters nests is pretty much an aspect of the game we forget about. And Gree responded with a new building. Seemed like a good idea. We will look into that. Next up is, can there be more armor space? Huge issue for some people out there, and Gree responded with, due to hardware limitations, we have to cap the amount of armors in your inventory, but we are constantly looking into improving that. And they have been improving that before. They actually doubled the armor space before, even more than that. But yeah, I also feel that there should be more armor space as well, but you know, I know for a fact that it's also kind of affecting the game itself as well. I know for a fact that some people out there are having lag issues when it comes down to trying to load up the armors because they have so many. So that is another thing as well. Next question is, will there ever be stats for capes? And capes is, you know, what accessory, what you're yeah, I don't even need to explain what capes are. But what Gree responded was, the cape idea is pretty cool. We'll see what we can do about that. Now, I also want to add to that, you know, don't give stats to capes that people are not able to get anymore, because that would just be unfair. Like, I can kind of understand if there's going to be stats for capes that are available in store right now, but please do us a favor and don't add stats to capes that are already, you know, that has been there for a while. Because if people are starting the game from scratch right now, it would kind of be unfair, right? Don't you agree? Next up is, will heroic mode always be happening, or is it like happening every once in a while? And Gree responded with this. They said, we're having the plan to at least have one heroic event per month, and it also really depends on how many players are enjoying the feature. I mean, I already mentioned before that a lot of players are actually enjoying it, but I'm also really curious to know how long people are going to be enjoying it before they get bored of it. So yeah, I have no idea. For now, the way things are going right now is pretty cool, and I really feel, and I have to emphasize the fact, dual elements for heroic mode is just going to be really exciting. So I would really encourage Gree to look into that one as well. Last question, will heroic mode always be the same for drops and monsters, or is it going to be changing? And Gree responded with, we might cycle some minions and monsters sometime in the future. And what I think when they say something like that is that they're going to be creating a few mini bosses as well for the current bosses, and the other way around as well. So that way it's going to be fair, because I mean, I'm not going to be farming the epic stage and the end boss, or I mean heroic stage and the end boss. I'm not going to be farming that because I can farm the other monster that's on there as well. So it would be nice if they would be swapping that one up as well. So yeah, that are all of the questions and the answers, and of course my input for the developer Q&A on the Player Appreciation Month on the community forum. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to discuss everything in the comment section down below. I'm always curious to know what you guys have to say. And once again, make sure to point out what kind of topic we're talking about there, so that way I can actually relate to what you're saying in the comments. So that being said, as always, make sure that if you guys like this video too, boom, give it a thumbs up. And that being said, this has been Reversal for Knights and Dragons. I'm going to be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.